absolutely demolished PSV in a game where many pundits, many football fans all said, oh, tight draw, cheeky 1-0 win to PSV. I thought it would be 1-1. Arsenal have gone there and have they shut a lot of us up? Now, the interesting thing about this is a toothless Arsenal. This is a goal-shy Arsenal. This is an Arsenal without all of their forward players. There's no Martinelli. There's no Havertz. There's no Saka. They've got a 17-year-old on one side, Trossard, who gets accused of only being a super sub. And then Mikel Merino, the false number 9, if you will. And Arsenal have just gone and demolished PSV 7-1. Now, I'm asking the question today, is this putting down a marker? Is this Arsenal putting down a marker that they are contenders for the Champions League title? Or are PSV really that bad? Or does it lie somewhere in the middle? For me, I don't think Arsenal will win the Champions League. But I'll tell you what, if ever there is a game, if ever there is a scoreline that can change your season, it's surely that. Now, again, I always caveat these videos. As a Spurs fan, I don't want them doing well. But we know they can defend. We know how strong they are at the back. We know how solid and organised Arteta has them. And what's been levelled at them for the last year to 18 months is that going the other way, they simply don't look the same as they did a couple of years ago. Now, yes, it's one game. But could we be seeing that Arsenal have found a way to score goals without their front three? Now, they also broke a number of records last night. Let's have a look at those records that they broke. I mean, they became the first team in the Champions League history to score 7 or more goals away from home in a knockout match. Now, yes, we're probably going to say that PSV are really poor, but 7 goals away from home at any level of football is amazing, let alone in the knockout stages of a Champions League. Absolutely brilliant. And listen, I'll be honest, I'm jealous. I'm down in the Europa League. I'm jealous of that. Arsenal scored 7 goals in a single game in all competitions for the first time since beating Newcastle 7-3 in the Premier League. And that was in 2012. So this is the first time for 13 years that Arsenal have scored 7 goals in a game. Arsenal scored 7 goals in a European game for the first time since October 2007. So we're going back, we're going back now 18 years. And that was against Slavia Prague. Crazy stats. If we look at some more down there, you can see PSV have conceded 7 goals in a game, right? For just the third time in their history, in the club's history. Also doing in May 1958 when they lost 7-1 to Feyenoord. 7-1. Wow. Sorry, 7-1 to Feyenoord in 1960. So we're going back, 65 years. And then Arsenal became the first team in the Champions League history to have 6 different goal scorers. And I'll tell you what was really good for them about that is without their strikers, they need goals from all around the pitch, don't they? So for them, that's a really good positive for Arsenal. I hate seeing this as a Spurs fan. I hate that I have to come on and do videos about opposition that have done well when my team are struggling. Maybe my team will get 7 tomorrow against AZ Alkmaar, who are not as good as PSV Eindhoven. This was the earliest, the 48th minute, a side had scored 5 goals in a Champions League away game since Shakhtar Donetsk against Bate Borisov in 2014. Ethan Nwaneri, 17 years, 348 days, becomes the 3rd youngest player to score in the knockout stage in the Champions League. And that's after Bojan, the ex-Barcelona player, and Jude Bellingham, of course, the England international. And the last one there you can see, again, very impressive. Nwaneri at 17 years, Skelly at 18. Arsenal started a UEFA Champions League game with 2 teenagers for the first time since 2014 versus Galatasaray with Bellerin and Callum Chambers. Now, look, these stats are all very good in isolation. These stats are all very good in a one-off game. I'm looking to speak to Arsenal fans and to football fans in general. Is this their anomaly? Is this just a nice thing that happened? Or is this going to kickstart Arsenal's season to go on a really good run in the Premier League and to have a good run in the Champions League? Now, we all know that Arsenal, if they get through, when Arsenal go through, they are going to be playing the winners of Atletico Madrid versus Real Madrid. And that game is nicely balanced at 2-1. It was a really good game last night. Atletico, I thought, were very, very good, but Real Madrid have those moments. I don't think Madrid are a good team to watch, but they've got big guns. Mbappe, who I thought was awful last night, is a big gun. Vinicius Jr. is a big gun. Bellingham is a big gun. Modric is a big gun. Rodrigo, who scored a blinder on the other side. Even someone like Brahim Diaz was excellent last night. But is that going to be one bridge too far for this Arsenal team? If Arsenal play Real Madrid over 2 legs, will Arsenal be able to replicate this type of form? And I'm not saying a 7-1 win, but will Arsenal have enough in their locker to go to one of the Madrid sides and knock them out? Now, for me, I think it'll be a fascinating game. I do think that they will need the likes of Saka back to have any chance. I don't think they will. Now, clip this, because this may come back to haunt me. I think that Madrid will dispatch of them very easily. I think Atletico Madrid aren't a free scoring team, but are a very strong team defensively. So Arsenal will definitely need the likes of Saka, Martinelli and Havertz back for that game. But could this be that we see now Nwaneri between now and the end of the season goes on one of these magical runs that teenagers have, like what Lamine Yamal did for Barcelona a couple of years ago, that put him into the stratosphere and then saw him being one of the players of the tournament at the Euros? I don't know. Listen, I like Nwaneri. I think Nwaneri, whenever I've watched him, he looks strong, he looks powerful, he looks skillful, and he doesn't look 17. He looks wise before his years. But is this a one-off game that everybody's getting a bit too carried away about from an Arsenal perspective? Or are they going to use this to kick on? Now, I'm sure many people will respond to this video saying, Arsenal, it was just PSV. But to beat anybody 7-1, you've got to have something about you. And the last thing I want to talk about is Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard, from what I see when I watch Arsenal content, I like to watch all content, by the way. I like to know what my competitors in the YouTube space and football space are doing. And Martin Odegaard seems to be somebody that Arsenal fans can't agree on. Some people think he's brilliant. Some people talk about him in the kind of Mesut Ozil reigns of football players. Other people think that he's a bit of a show pony, flicking his hair a lot, doesn't really contribute, doesn't score enough goals, doesn't get enough assists. Well, last night, from what I saw in the highlights, he looked brilliant. But I take what people say. There are games where I watch and I don't see Martin Odegaard playing. So I'd be really interested to know what the wider football world and the Arsenal fans think about Martin Odegaard. So people, I'll end on this. Is this a one-off? Are Arsenal going to kickstart a magical campaign where they finally put their hands on the Champions League? Has this given Arteta a bit of a reprieve? Or are you in the camp of, shut up, Sava, it's only PSV Eindhoven? I don't know what you guys think. I just think sometimes you have to give credit when a team does well. They're definitely through to the knockout stages, but can they continue that against one of the better one of the 2 big Madrid clubs? Please leave your comments. Please like, please subscribe and help the channel grow. We're nearly at the first 1,000 in just under 2 weeks, which is amazing. So thank you very much for your support. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. And Arsenal, is this your year for the Champions League? Take care, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs, shameless.